What is going on, everybody? This is Mark from at Breakout Bulls. Give us a follow on Twitter if you want some possible breakouts. Um, so basically, what we do is we do the searching, we do the analysis, we find charts poised for potential breakouts. Then, after we do our due diligence, we do our analysis. If there's something that we think has a potential to breakout, that is what we post on Twitter. So check that out if you want some good calls. The reason why I bring that up is because one of the five picks that we kind of want to put on the weekly watch list here is one that we made last Monday, which is FRCN. So you can see here, took the chart on Monday, did some analysis on it, basically nailed it. I said on the chart here, I was conservative with the breakout entry at 0.0020. Mentioned that 0.003 would be the first initial stop. Sorry, the short term target if this level is broken. Which, if we look right here, that is exactly what happened. So it broke out above 0.001. It opened at 0.017. Broke out above this little consolidation here. I took it conservative and said 0.0020. So that could have been a potential 50% gain, 17%, or sorry, around 70% gain if you were aggressive, like I mentioned in the video, and you did buy in on the breakout of 0.0017, you could have potentially made 73%. So that's kind of what we try to do. So this is definitely a chart to keep on your watch list coming into this week. The reason why is because it closed well over the breakout point. It also closed over 200 to the 200-day moving average. Huge volume. So what I'm thinking might happen here on Monday during the week is maybe a retracement back to test either the breakout area at 0.0020, or to test the 200-day moving average right over here at 0.0022. And I want to see if it comes back in here, and if there's buying interest, which we can see through volume, then it might be poised to complete its next leg up to 0.0050 as shown on this chart over here. So we can see a hit here, closed around here. So the retracement might come back to here, might stay at 0.002. I'm guessing this guy's probably at that level, 0.0024. So this one's sitting up here. Irregardless of that fact, this thing might pull back and then continue the leg, or it might just blow out of the gates on Monday or early during the week and retest this resistance here. And if this thing breaks out, this would be the first target. 0.0050, which is about 65% away. So that's what we want to keep on the watch list during the week. One down. So the second one I'm looking at here, I want to start with MELY, Microelectronics Technology. So basically on the daily, this thing looks a bit choppy, but you can see here there was a nice big breakout on the 3rd of April. And since then we've had our pullback, a bounce, and then another pullback. But if you look at the MAs, so you've got the 200-day moving average kind of consolidating the price, and you can see the 13-day moving average over here as well, consolidating the price upwards, and this is bringing consolidating it downwards. So providing overhead resistance and providing support that's moving up, which we can see in the with the higher highs that are here. So sorry, the higher lows. So this low 0.0014, this low 0.0016. So you can see that the lows are starting to are getting higher, and we're creating lower highs. So this high is 0.0035, this one 0.0025, sorry, 0.0027, and you can just see that it's slowly starting to consolidate into here. So we saw some volume on Friday, which shows after three red days. Shout out to at the trading fish or at mrock rules, which is known as the trading fish, for the 3-day rule. Give him a follow as well. So you can see here that the price closed at 0.0020, which was the effective short-term EMA here. So I want to see this thing kind of either consolidating into here, or breaking out of the 200-day moving average, and looking for short-term resistance around 0.003 0.0033 to 0.0042. So that's what I'm looking for on the daily here. On the weekly, if you take a look, I like confluence and I like to build a case for entry. Um, so in this instance here, you can see that the week of March 31st, the big breakout candle here with 1.25 billion shares traded. And you can see the 50-day moving average is consolidating the price down, and you can see the 13 EMA is bringing the price up here, is consolidating up. So again, we're creating higher lows. So again, this one is 0.0014. This one was 0.0016 on the weeklies. So you can see the price is consolidating. And it's coming together, forming a little flag, or I like to call this a flag or a triangle pattern, however you want to call it. So if we see a breakout over this little triangle area on volume, it could test 0.0096, 0.0010 area on the weekly if we got some juice. Some short-term targets can be the 0.0050 area as well. So that's what we're looking for on here. You can see that a similar pattern is forming on the weekly that we see forming on the daily. So that's also something that I like to see. And the stocks are coming down into oversold territory as well. I don't really use the stocks to make my decisions, but sometimes they add another check to building the case, for entry. So that would be the second one. CWIR, it's got quite a bit of message board hype. Again, similar pattern. You can see all the EMAs are sitting relatively parallel to each other in an upward fashion, basically stating that we are currently in an uptrend, which means that we are making higher lows and higher highs in the overall trend. But you can see on the short-term trend, it's pretty flat. But the 50 MA is still moving up. So what I'd like to see from CWIR here is, you can see the prices coming up into here, and we've got a recent high here. So this looks like it did break out on Friday, with some pretty impressive higher volume than, how many days back is this? Quite a few days back, but dating back to the 10th of March. So that's about almost a month away. And we got some really big volume on here. So this thing could have broken out of the little triangle pattern over here. So we can possibly watch a continuation, trying to test the swing highs here at 0.066, 0.007. So look for that during the day, during the week as well. A retest of these highs, which could possibly break us out. And if we check on the weekly chart is basically saying breakout over 0.0070 is blue skies. So we can see here, we had the initial breakout, consolidation into somewhat of a flag pattern as well. Breakout right through here, little rectangle pattern, breakout again. Up into here, we had a nice retrace back onto the short-term EMA, and now we're bouncing back. And you can see here we've got another sort of, not really neckline resistance here, but we've got overhead resistance in this area, 0.006, 0.0060. But the EMA sitting comfortably under there, and this could be the first target. So breakout over 0.0060 can take us to 0.007, which is about a 15% gain, and then you can take partials here, and if it does break out over, then you're in blue skies. So that's another chart that we're looking at. that might be a potential watch for this coming week. Um, and we have FDMF. This one is a bit choppy, um, but it's not looking too bad on the chart itself. Basically, the reason why I brought this one up is because it's got some pretty good volume, 366 million shares traded. It is a 000 play, so again, this is pretty sketchy. And 000 plays, they don't really conform to um, technical analysis and structure, and as well as higher priced securities do. But in any event, you can see here there's 0.001. This is some nice support that's been tested once. That's some resistance that's been created here, pulled back, and has been tested again last week over 23rd, 24th, 25th. So this resistance was tested 3 days last week. So if we pull this out on the weekly chart, you can see here that this is obvious historic resistance around this area over here. So a breakout above 0.0010 with considerable volume can take it. If we're looking for the swing high, on this, the nearest swing high, we would probably be looking for around here 0.0131. Which is quite some distance away, as you can see. But again, with appropriate volume, and this is pretty significant overhead resistance. So if this thing is broken, you can aim conservative short term for hitting the 50 MA, 0.0018, which is about 74 or 75% away. That would be your conservative approach. Just you can take partials on there, and then you can move up your stops to 0.0018, and just let it run and see what happens. So that way you'll be breaking if it comes back down, you'll be breaking even. So again, initial short term would be the 50 MA on the weekly, which is 0.0018. So a breakout above 0.001, going to 0.0018 would be the short term target. And then moving up, we're looking at around 0.00124, around this area, 0.00112. So around 980, around 1,000%. Okay, so again, we've got beautiful volume on the weekly chart here. Stocks I don't really use too much, but you can see the signal line starting to hook and cross over the red line. Over the signal line here. So that's what we're looking at. We've got a considerable downtrend coming in here. But a breakout above here could see us come up into this territory. And again, the more volume it gets, the more it could potentially run. So this thing is also definitely on the top of the watch list coming into this week. And the final chart I think I'm looking off of is FROZ. So this thing is, everybody knows about FROZ. It's been in play for some time now. So you can see here, short term and medium term, we have an uptrend coming. But the price broke through the short term on April the 22nd, which I believe was the Wednesday. And it retraced back into the 50 MA, which seems to have held its ground. With increased volume. So you can see here all week volume was pretty impressive volume on the red days, but this solid day once it hit the 50 MA support at 0.0095, you see that there was a lot of buying pressure coming in there, and it held its ground. So this could potentially be a bounce play. If you look here, if you look left, you can see that there was significant support on this around this area on this line. If we look on the weekly chart, you can also see that there is some support around this area here, and that it's retraced back down to here on pretty high volume as well. So if this level, if this point oh one, point oh oh nine five level cracks, then I won't be too interested in this play. Um, but on the daily, you can see here that this was some pretty solid support. You also have to keep in consideration risk reward. So basically, it's closed at 0.0113 on Friday. So I would have the way I would play this would be to put a pretty tight stop, just a couple cents under the support. So point under 0.009, maybe like 0.091, 0.09, 0.009. And then what are we looking at? 0.0013, 0.095. Yeah, it's around 19%. And this one, I'm looking for the swing high up here. So about 130% over the week. I'm aiming for here. So most realistic, probably around 0.0179 if it does bounce on volume. But I'm looking for the swing highs around this area, 0.0136. And since I have my stop loss set here, the risk reward profile looks pretty good. So this is something that I also might take. And you can see here the K percent line has the 14 period K line has gone into oversold territory here. So this can potentially be a good bounce play coming into this week. So this is definitely something to keep your eye on going into this coming week. So there we are, 5 tickers: FRCN, MELY, FROZ, CWIR, and FDMF, going into this new week, going into Monday, April 28th. Um, I've also got a couple of other plays that are on the secondary watch list, but those are specifically reserved for our group chat members. So if that's something that you're looking to see, and if this is something that you like, please like us on YouTube. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Please follow us on Twitter and join the chat. We've got a couple of like-minded people in there as well, and it's a good simulation, a good situation to put yourself in, a good environment where you've got like-minded people with like-minded goals, trying to achieve the same thing. So it's very good to bounce your ideas back and forth, and you've got us with a bit more experience that can answer your questions at any time. So that's that. That's the analysis for tonight. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. What's left in it, and happy hunting this week.